Hey guys, welcome to the ElkShape YouTube channel. I'm Dan the Fitness Man. Today we are discussing how to pull your bow back proper. Now, as a strength and conditioning coach and being in that industry for over 20 years, I'm very familiar with exercise physiology, anatomy, and how the body moves. So I'm going to give you guys just a quick overview on how to draw your bow back proper. Now, are you the guy who pulls your bow back with all bicep and lats? Looks like this. Oh yeah, you're making the YouTube vids. Are you the guy who pulls their bow back with it way in the air and it looks like this? Maybe you're the guy who pulls your bow back with the elbow so high that you're risking injury every time you pull your bow back. Looks like this. Or maybe you're somewhere in between. The bottom line is we want you to film yourself drawing your bow back. We want you to be familiar with the biomechanics and how you're moving. We want you guys to understand that there is a proper way to do it. And when it comes to technique and lack of variance, there's a huge component to doing the consistent thing every time. If you didn't know that about archery, archery boils down to your ability to be a robot. Your ability to do the same exact execution arrow after arrow after arrow. You will have consistency, you will mitigate any variance, and your groups will get tighter. So when executing a proper bow, we're not going to talk about stance, we're going to talk about just creating a perfect T. So if you were to hold both your arms out at the side, you have a T, and then you can, I'll do it here. So here I am in a T, and then I'm going to put this hand down. That's what it should look like at full draw. Now, if you're tilted with your hips forward or your hips back, you have an anterior or posterior pelvic tilt, moving your hips forward or backwards or arching, something's off. Maybe your draw length's too long, maybe your D loop's too long. The most common things we see in technique is a lot of elevation in that bow arm. So the shoulder will be elevating up. These things are going to eliminate your ability to crush variance. So the proper way to pull a bow back is directly related to how you hold that bow and how you anchor. So for me, I use a handheld predominantly. I like what would be considered an inverted grip. I use the knuckles to go against my jawbone, and so I want my elbow here. And so I like to pull my bow back so that I am directly into my anchor as fast as possible. What I'll see is people go here and then rotate up. That's a whole bunch of extra movements that an animal or your target might not allow. So when we're pulling back, we're gonna depress the scaps first and foremost, and that's gonna be challenging. Many of you are gonna pull your bow back and find that your scaps are up or your shoulders elevated. So you're gonna work to depress down, elbow up, pull back, and right into my anchor position. You can see that I didn't have to do a bunch of things, and that's gonna create a lot of consistency, as well as make you more accurate and minimize the time the bow is pulled back. I don't know about you, but I don't like the shots that break 20 seconds in, 15 seconds in. I like to not know when the shot's gonna break, but I still like to be in control, and that means that I'm narrowed in and just focusing. I'm not worrying about going through all my checks and balances, anchor, nose on the string, level, whatever your mantra is. When you're looking to execute, I would film yourself at the range, depress that scap down, don't shrug, pull into the position to where you will be right into your anchor right away. This is probably one of the most overlooked things we see at the archery range is drawing the bow improperly. Give this a shot, self-film, make some tweaks, watch your accuracy go up. This bow shoulder is so important. Start with it towards the spine and down. We call that depressed. Many of you are elevating this when you pull your bow back, and then it just automatically stays there because you're already in your shot process. So if you can start with this depressed down, that's gonna be awesome. And watch as you shoot later in practice sessions, it'll start to creep up. You're gonna have to be cognizant of that. The other thing to think about is just a stable platform. Whatever your feet are doing, everything hinges upon your stance. We're not here to talk about that. We're not experts, but from a biomechanical standpoint, pulling your bow back should be more lats, posterior delt, than it is bicep. And so don't put your shoulder at a compromising position. To me, that's gonna be kind of an external position, but not over external. You're gonna bring that down, keep the bicep not invited to the party. Use the big lat. This thing inserts at the hip and goes all the way into the humerus. This is a large muscle that's designed to do the pulling. And then keep the biceps out of it and just pull back into where you are right into your anchor position. And there's very little effort. It takes very little time, and you're already working through your shot process in a matter of seconds. All right, guys, we're gonna talk about the hips. The hips need to have a neutral hip, neutral spine relationship, but what we see a lot of times is compromise, and the compromise starts at the hips. So when people are pulling their bow backs, they'll have to tilt their hips forward. What that does is shorten your hip flexors, adds a lot of pressure to your lower back, and it doesn't put you in a neutral hip, neutral spine, which is the strongest, most solid position to shoot from. So if we want the most sturdiest foundation, find a nice neutral hip, neutral spine. And to do that, just tilt your hips forward on purpose. Tilt your hips backwards on purpose and find middle ground between those 2 points. You'll find that you actually have to squeeze your butt cheeks to rotate your hips all the way posterior. And then you'll have to completely let go of your cheeks to let your hips sink. Don't let them do either. Find a nice neutral position, draw the belly button in, execute that draw. Now, besides the hips, it's the shoulder. The bow arm shoulder tends to elevate, and that happens at the draw. That's a tough thing to do. I personally have to work through it myself, where a lot of times when I pull my bow back, I have to catch myself and depress. And it would be nice if it was already, the shoulder blade was already close to the spine and down, depression, retraction, and that we could go ahead and start getting our anchor and working through the shot process. So watch yourself, film yourself, make sure that when you pull your bow back, that shoulder is depressed and it stays there. And if you're in the latter half of your shooting session, it's not uncommon for that shoulder to slowly start creeping up and your accuracy to go down. So make sure to be cognizant of that when you're shooting next time. As far as the muscles involved in drawing your bow back, it should be largely the lat, your wings. This thing attaches at your hip and attaches at your humerus. I mean, that's a huge wing, and that is your primary mover, as well as the posterior delt. And you have some assisting muscles, you know, your rotator cuff and rhomboids, major, minor, lower traps. There's a lot of muscles invited to the party, but let's use the one that's most important. That's the lat. Keep your biceps out of it. Keep the shoulder capsule out of it, and find that happy ground where you can pull the bow back and it's right into the anchor position. This is a rabbit hole we could dive deeper, but we just wanted to touch the surface today. If you're looking for a good resource to maybe work on strengthening your bow draw muscles, we're gonna pop a video at the end here. That's a video that we put together with Wilderness Athlete. They also have a 28-day program that we helped write that can get your draw strength way better in 28 days. And then my buddy Chris from Archery Strong, we're gonna drop a link at his YouTube channel. Check his stuff out as well. Keep getting stronger every day. Crush those bad habits, keep the good ones, and keep working hard towards your goals.
What's up, ElkShape YouTube? Tim here. Dan and I sat down a little ways back and we wanted to give some stuff away just as a small way to say thank you for your support. We appreciate you guys for being exactly who you are and all the positivity you spread on our channel and comments. First, let's give away the vanes. We got these sweet ElkShape AAE vanes. If you didn't win some, there's still a few available in the store. We hope you're rocking them on your arrows this fall when you turn them bright red. We gave them away to the people that commented on the how fast you can repair a fletch video. There's some pretty funny comments, and we'll link that video below if you want to go check it out. But the first guy that's gonna win for sense of humor, and I'll put this stuff on the screen, is Good Time Killers. Cracked me up. Second is Kyle Free. He's a new archer. Kyle, we want to support you in your archery journey. And Tyson Motts. Thank you guys. Just reach out to us, elkshape@gmail.com or ElkShape on Instagram, and we'll get your addresses and get that stuff shipped out. And then the big giveaway, the one that a lot of people got their eyes on, and I personally do too. I don't know if it's going to show up missing before it goes away or not. It's the Vortex rangefinder. Super dope, shoots out to the 10th of the yard, and fast, clear. It's awesome. To get entered to win that, all you have to do is follow the link below, pop in your email. We're gonna select a winner a week from today. But you have until Sunday, July 5th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your email entered. What I would recommend doing is don't mess around, go enter your email right now, get it in. and then we'll give it away a week from today. I know we can't give stuff to everybody, but this is just our way of saying thank you. We want to continue to give back and support you guys.
And if you're feeling really froggy, give us a subscribe to ElkShape YouTube. Here we go. Hey, and if you wouldn't mind, do us a solid, hit the subscribe button for more fitness, archery, and elk hunting content.